Welcome to our Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Bill Fody, and together with my friend George Martin, we are happy to serve as the Directors of Athletics here at Colby-Sawyer. Before we begin our ceremony, I'd like to announce the winners of our Charger Award for Outstanding Male and Female Athlete of the Year. We do this now instead of at our senior banquet because our spring teams are still competing and they're in the middle of their respective seasons, and we thought it better to wait until all contests are completed to give athletes a fair opportunity to be recognized. And we made the announcement over the summer, and we're recognizing them now. Now, these awards are given to the male and female who have extraordinary athletic ability and have contributed the most to their team, the college, and the world of sport. The award is a token of hard work, good judgment, understanding, and determination. So we'd like to publicly recognize them now. First, our Charger Award for Outstanding Female Athlete of the Year, Yashu Yang. Now, Yashu guided the women's tennis team to a Great Northeast Athletic Conference title in our first year in the league, giving Colby-Sawyer its first GNAC crown. She was named GNAC Player of the Year, All GNAC First Team, All GNAC Doubles First Team. She went 6-0 at #1 singles and 7-0 in doubles matches in GNAC matches. She then won all of her matches in GNAC play on the way to being named Tournament MVP. Yashu finished the year with an overall singles record of 16-4 at the #1 spot, including victories over several Division II schools. She had 16 doubles wins. In fact, she and her doubles partner, Anna Carpenter, picked up a signature 8-4 victory over Division I Holy Cross at the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Yashu was her best in NCAA tournament play, winning in doubles 8-2 over Nichols while winning her top flight singles match 6-2, 6-0. Yashu is now 2-0 in NCAA singles matches and 2-1 in doubles for her career. Congratulations, Yashu. Our Charger Award for Outstanding Male Athlete of the Year is Dana Bean. Dana had an amazingly consistent junior season for the men's basketball team and was rewarded by being named All GNAC First Team. He was one of the league's most efficient scorers, shooting 59% overall, averaging 17 points and 9 rebounds per game. His shooting percentage ranked him 51st best in the nation, and his 12 double-doubles ranked him 41st. Among conference players, Dana ranked 2nd in blocks, 4th in rebounds, 5th in total rebounds, 4th in field goal percentage, and 11th in points per game. He scored in double figures every game but one and scored 25 or more points on 3 different occasions. Entering his senior year, he is already among our all-time leaders in blocks, points, rebounds, and free throws made. In a road win at Anna Maria, Dana became the program's 20th member to reach 1,000 career points. He currently stands with 1,231 career points. Congratulations, Dana. He asked if I wanted a chair to stand up. Now, our Hall of Fame is really one of our favorite days of the year in the athletic department. It's really a labor of love. It's fun to get together with our friends and our old friends and celebrate our history and our success. It's one of those rare occasions where it's considered okay to brag about our teams and our student athletes. It's a culmination of a great homecoming weekend. And now we're inducting our 14th class. And I would like to, before I get too deep into my remarks, just thank those people that are responsible for this event. Our Chargers Club do a great job with their generous support of this event. Leslie Ekstrand and her staff for the wonderful meal we enjoyed. Ruth Clark is not here, but she works tirelessly behind the scenes, not only today, but every day in the athletic department. She's truly the heartbeat of our department. Our Hall of Fame committee, George Martin, Jen Ellis of the Chargers Club, Stacy Watts, our faculty athletic rep, Ryan Emerson, our sports information director. All of those nice things you see in the paper, the updated stats, the pictures, you can thank Ryan for all of those things. Lindsay Osler, our senior women administrator, and Beth Camp, our alumni rep, and especially Tracy Austin for making this such a special event. Please join me in thanking these people. Now we're celebrating some truly outstanding careers in athletics, but we do think that all of our student athletes are special at Colby-Sawyer. They work very hard at their craft, commit countless hours to training, lifting, rehabbing. They'll cut their summer vacation short to arrive for fall camp, their holiday break short for their winter camp. They do this while truly being student athletes. Their academic responsibilities are tremendous. And we do ask a lot of them. We ask them to excel in the classroom as well as with their sport. Now they do these things, they dedicate themselves and make these sacrifices because they love being a part of the team, they love competition, being a part of something bigger than themselves, and they take great pride in representing Colby-Sawyer. In fact, a little over a third of our student body are student athletes. Now, everyone can take pride in our most recent success in athletics, and here's a chance just to brag a little bit, because this was our first year in the GNAC, in our inaugural season, and we were acknowledged with 2 conference coaches of the year, 1 conference player of the year, a conference rookie of the year. We had 27 athletes recognized as first team all-conference. We had 80 athletes recognized by various all-academic, all-conference teams. We won 3 conference titles, sent the team to the NCAAs, and in the GNAC Commissioner's Cup, which is kind of like an aggregate of all GNAC games and all sports, our men's team placed 5th out of 12 members, and our women's team 4th out of 13 members. Now we've got some of our current athletes here. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. Now, homecoming weekend is special for our coaching staff. You may have seen some of the interaction before we had our meal, but it's really gratifying to see our former student athletes come back to campus and enjoying success in their personal and professional lives. And while the athletic achievements I mentioned are noteworthy, I'm sure our alums would agree that our athletes learn how to deal with more than just success. They learn how to deal with failure, time management, team dynamics, the value of preparation, hard work, and how to fill a role on a team. Now, these learned life skills that give them a head start on their postgraduate career. And I can tell you as a coach, it's really heartwarming to see the interaction between our current student athletes and our former student athletes, because it really drives that point home. Now, we've enjoyed some facilities upgrades in athletics. I would encourage you to visit the Hogan Sports Center if you haven't already this weekend. We have some beautiful new equipment in the Van Cise Fitness Center. You'll notice we've converted a racquetball court to an athlete-only weight room. We've had upgrades in Mercer Hall to our playing service, the Kelsey tennis courts, and our baseball field, and many of these projects are made possible by generous gifts from alumni. Now we have some special guests here today. A special welcome to our inductees, their family, friends, and teammates. Today we honor you as you take your rightful place amongst the all-time greats at Colby-Sawyer. But before we get into their induction, I would like to look back and welcome some current Hall of Famers who may be here today. I know we had some here this weekend. If you look at your Hall of Fame program, you'll see a list of every individual and team that has previously been inducted into our Hall of Fame. And I know we had some here this weekend. I'm not sure how many, if any, we have here today, but if we do, can you please stand and be recognized? George, I would encourage everyone to visit our Hall of Fame wall in the Hogan Sports Center. The wall features a touch iPad similar to the Legends wall that you passed upon entering this room. So today we celebrate some special student athletes. We build on our history and celebrate individuals for their extraordinary achievements while representing Colby-Sawyer. As our current Hall of Famers that visited this weekend did before you, they set the bar high for future inductees. Perhaps a current student athlete will be inspired by what they hear today and someday join me on this stage for this event and have their own name inscribed on our Hall of Fame wall. But for now, let's turn our attention to the special people on stage behind me and begin our ceremony. First, George Martin to present Kaylin Bullitt.
Good morning, everyone. A special welcome back to the alumni who have come back to support their friends and teammates. We appreciate any opportunity to see you on campus again. It's truly a thrill to have you back on campus. It's my pleasure today to speak about Kaylin Bullitt, a women's basketball player from the class of 2013. Kaylin, or Bull, as we all call her, could do it all on the offensive side of the basketball court. She was a phenomenal passer, whether it was finding Taylor DeSanti at the perfect moment coming off the screen, or hitting Kelsey Cahill streaking down the floor for a fast break basket. She always delivered the ball on time to wherever she needed it to be. She was a deep three-point threat from three-point range. She had a great pull-up jump shot in the mid-range, and she slashed to the basket with her left hand, which would really aggravate other coaches because she's a right-handed player and finished strong at the rim. She could really do it all on the offensive end. On the defensive end of the court, did you play defense? I don't remember her on the defensive end of the court, but that was fine. She did an outstanding job wherever she was. The name Bullitt is unique and is not one that is easily forgotten. And when I was in high school and in college, I used to read about a basketball player in the Worcester Telegram and Gazette by the name of Bullitt. That turned out to be Kaylin's dad, Tom. So 25 or 30 years later, as the coach here at Colby-Sawyer, I started to read about another Bullitt in the same newspaper. I figured she had to be good, and she was. Bull made the varsity at Millbury High School. She became a Woolly. What's a Woolly? That's the team name for Millbury High School because there were wool factories in the town. When she was in 7th grade at 12 years old, and I was able to follow her through her high school career. The first time I saw Bull actually play in person was at a basketball camp I worked at Bentley College. I was fortunate enough to be able to put the teams together when I worked at that camp. And I made sure, and when I recognized that name, that she would be in a league that I would be around and that no other college coaches would be able to see her play. The next time I saw her play the summer before her senior year was at an AAU tournament at Holyoke Community College in Western Massachusetts. The tournament was 2 different sites. A lot of the teams were playing at Westfield State, and she had a game that morning at Holyoke Community College. When I got to the gym, I was the only college coach in the building, and I was thrilled about that. I was going to be able to talk about her, about giving her that special feeling about being there to see her play. I took the time to go watch her because she was special, and it was going to be great because nobody else could do that. And just before tip-off, I hear something from behind me, someone go, "Hi, Coach." And I turned around, and it was Erica DeSanti, one of my alums who played here at Colby-Sawyer and was now an assistant coach at Williams College. She sat down, we exchanged some greetings, and she finally looked at me and said, "Do you know which one Kaylin Bullitt is? I'm here to watch her play." And being what any good former coach and rival college coach now would do, I pointed to the wrong kid. I actually didn't. I pointed out to which one she was, but I made sure to talk to Erica the entire game so she could not pay attention to what Bull was doing on the floor. Erica's sister had actually had a baby the night before. I remember it like it was yesterday, and we just kept talking about the baby and this and that, and she had no clue what Bull was doing. But later that summer, Kaylin went to a camp at Williams College where Erica was working and coaching. And one of my other alums, KJ Krasko, who's now the women's basketball coach at Middlebury, was also working at the camp. And they spent the entire time trying to talk Bull into be able to come to Colby-Sawyer. So I'm forever thankful to Erica DeSanti and KJ Krasko to be able to get her to come to Colby-Sawyer. The next time I saw Bull play was her first game of her senior year. It was at Drury High School, which is where her dad played her high school ball in Western Massachusetts, and in a gym named Bullitt Gymnasium, which is a gym named after her grandfather. She played against her future teammate and backcourt mate, Taylor DeSanti, in that game. I remember driving home around the hairpin turn. If any of you have ever been on Western Mass and on the Mohawk Trail, there's a turn that goes 180 degrees, and then down the windy Mohawk Trail. I remember driving home smiling and thinking that night I just watched the future of Colby-Sawyer basketball, and it looked really good. Once Kaylin was on campus, she took full advantage of all that Colby-Sawyer had to offer. She excelled in the classroom, she found internships that were meaningful and practical, she became involved in leadership positions and organizations on campus, and still found time to be an outstanding member of the women's basketball team. The following is a list of some of the things Bull did here academically. She was in the Weston Honors Program for all 4 years. She was a Sawyer Fellow Award winner for her sophomore, junior, and senior year. She was a Squire Academic Excellence Award winner. She was a member of Alpha Chi National Honor Society. She was a member of SAC. She was president of SAC. And she made the all-conference team, academic team, in both the Commonwealth Coast Conference and the North Atlantic Conference. One of her former professors and former president Tom Galligan said of Kaylin, "Kaylin Bullitt is the epitome of a scholar athlete. She was exceptional in the classroom as she was on the basketball court. In class, she was always prepared, engaged, and active. She asked fantastic questions, moved class discussions forward. Her analyses were on point, well considered, supported by facts, and persuasive. Additionally, she was a significant leader in the classroom as she was when she was assisting and positioning her teammates on the court. She led through her comments, the examples she set, and the friendship she provided to her colleagues. As successful as Kaylin was in the classroom, she matched that success on the basketball court. As a 4-year starter and 2-year captain, Kaylin's leadership and outstanding play helped lead Colby-Sawyer to a NAC championship and back to the NCAA tournament in 2013. Kaylin left Colby-Sawyer College with her name splashed all over the record book. She's the only player in program history to have more than 1,000 points, 1,257, 500 rebounds, 522, and 500 assists, 583. There's a young lady over there who's really close to matching this. At the time of graduation, she left the program ranked first all-time in assists, as well as a single-season record holder in assists, second all-time in free throws, 6th in points, and 9th in three-pointers. For her outstanding play, she was rewarded with the following awards. She was a first-team NAC player in 2013, All-NAC tournament team in 2013. She was selected to play in the New England Senior All-Star Classic. She was first-team All-New Hampshire Division III, second-team All-NAC in 2012, third-team All-CCC in 2011, second-team All-New Hampshire in 2011 and 12. She was co-MVP of the 2013 Colby-Sawyer women's basketball team and captain from 2011 through 2013. She had quite a career. When Kaylin committed to Colby-Sawyer College from Millbury High School in the spring of 2009, I told people that I thought she could be one of the best players that I had ever recruited. Little did I know the impact that she would make both on Colby-Sawyer College and the women's basketball program. I've been blessed to be associated with many fine team members and women over my 26 years here, but very few match the quality that Kaylin possessed. She made my job easy over the 4 years that she was here. She always knew what needed to be done, both on and off the court, and could communicate that effectively to her teammates. Kaylin went on to graduate from Colby-Sawyer and went to Suffolk Law School. She's now an assistant district attorney in Worcester County in Massachusetts, and is also a member of the Colby-Sawyer College Board of Trustees. It's my great pleasure that I introduce Kaylin Bullitt as the newest member of the Colby-Sawyer College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, thank you, Coach. First of all, I want to thank everybody who put this on for us today and to congratulate my fellow inductees. I asked Coach to introduce me so that he would have to say some nice things about me in public after 4 years of jacket tosses and foot stomps. I guess the joke was kind of on me a little bit. But that's kind of just a cheap shot by me because Coach is really supportive. He's always been very motivating, and he is the entire reason that I came here. I had never even heard about Colby-Sawyer until I got letters and phone calls from Coach seemingly every week when he was recruiting me. He was very persistent, but I'm glad that he was. He came to so many of my games that I just had to come and see this school, and as soon as I walked into Hogan and I saw all of the banners and all the trophies in his office, I knew that this is where I wanted to come to school. This is a rare place, and what's even rarer is a coach who pays as much attention to you after you're here that he did when he recruited you. And my teammates might agree that sometimes it was a little too much attention, but that's part of his job, and he's very, very good at his job, so thank you very much, Coach. I had an amazing 4 years here, and I'm so proud to be a part of such an amazing program that really developed such great people. I wouldn't be standing here without my teammates. We always truly were a team first and foremost. My classmate and teammate Taylor DeSanti was inducted last year, which was actually kind of a huge surprise to me because I had assumed that she had been inducted immediately after her freshman year. I don't really know what took so long, but I thought she was an automatic one. She was just an easy example of what made my job as the point guard easy. I think there should be an asterisk next to some of my assists that said the percentage of what Taylor was as the person who scored. Baby Ryan can work on that stat in all of his free time for me. But my teammates made me a better player, and they made me a better person. They always were holding each other accountable. I couldn't take any possessions off because if I did, Maddie Hawkins would be down my throat screaming at me the whole time if I ever did that. And I always had to push the ball up the court for those layups. Coach talked about to Kelsey Cahill, always on the left side. She would always be down there waiting for it, and if I didn't, Maddie Hawkins would have been all over me. I can't thank my teammates enough for the experience that we had here together. We really had a great time on and off the court. But I also want to thank the community here in general. We were always very well supported and appreciated when we were here, and that goes a long way for Division III athletes. I never regretted my decision to come here, except for maybe that first walk after a road game back to Page on the exact opposite side of campus through the Arctic vortex that the quad turns into at night. But maybe just that once. But other than that, I knew that this was the place that I wanted to come to, and I'm very, very glad that I did. And of course, lastly, but I would like to thank my family, especially my parents who are here today. My mom for sitting in the gyms for all those years and for dealing with my dad's driving to those gyms through cities and random U-turns in Boston. And then my dad who introduced me to basketball when I was little. He was my first coach, and he would watch every game that he couldn't be at on the computer. He never really got out of his coaching mentality with me. I would call after every single game, and he would say something like, "You guys played really well. I like that new offense you're doing. But you're flicking your wrist again on your foul shots, and that's why you missed two, so knock it off." So that was always nice to hear. But I would just like to thank Coach for getting me here and surrounding me with such amazing people that I got to spend 4 years with. They were great teammates, and they turned into even better friends. And to all my teammates, there's a couple of them here today, I just want to thank you guys again. It really was a memorable 4 years, and you guys might as well all be standing up here with me today, so thank you.
Now, Ryan Dunstan to present Sean Dunstan.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to start by addressing the elephant in the room. So this is actually the second time that I'm doing this, and you know, I am a 4-time All-American, Charger Award recipient. Like, come on, let's go, guys. My turn. My turn. No, but I'm super excited to be here to present this award for my little brother. It's gonna be a tough one. How we got here today. So it's been a journey. My dad talks about, you know, the path that you take to success and how you get there. And for us, it was a long one. You know, growing up in Reading, Pennsylvania, All-American ski racers from Reading, Pennsylvania. How's that work? So it's to the, you know, it's to the great endless pursuit that my parents were able to provide for us that brought us here today. We often spent Thanksgiving and Christmas packing up the car, heading to Vermont, to the Dunn's house, so that we could get on snow time, so that the boys from PA could, you know, be right there with the boys from Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. You know, it wasn't the traditional way of doing things, but we made it work, and I couldn't ask for a different path to how we got here. So Sean eventually made his way to Colby-Sawyer, most likely following the footsteps of his big brother, and pretty much smashed every record and accomplishment I ever achieved here. And that was actually the best man at my wedding, and introduced himself as, yeah, I'm Ryan's little brother, and I smoked him in ski racing. So here we are. I guess that's how it works. But I would like to read an list of accomplishments set by Sean here, because it's pretty impressive. So he has the distinction as one of the only male athletes to ever earn the Charger Award for Outstanding Male Athlete 3 times. His illustrious career began in grand fashion as he helped the Chargers win the 2009 United States Ski and Snowboard Association Combined National Championship. Sean earned USCSA All-American status in the slalom. His next 2 years would be even more impressive as he competed in 2 straight U.S. Alpine National Championships after being top male American to finish USCSA National Championships. Sean added 6 more All-American honors in those 2 years, along with countless race victories at ECSC. As the Colby-Sawyer ski program transitioned from Division II to Division I, Sean's final season, he continued to show that he is one of the best skiers to ever don the Colby-Sawyer ski team. Sean's impressive season earned him a spot at NCAA National Championships, which is an extremely exclusive championship with only 35 male students nationwide earning the right to race. The race is made up of mostly Division I scholarship athletes. So, I mean, to put this in perspective, in no disrespect, this is like Colby-Sawyer basketball going up against Duke. I mean, it's the real deal. So, it's so impressive to see, and for all the athletes out there that race for Colby-Sawyer, I mean, we're in the big leagues. I mean, University of Alaska, University of New Hampshire, University of Vermont. I mean, we're on the map with some of the biggest schools and some of the biggest talent in the country. 50% of these athletes that we compete against aren't even from the United States. I mean, they're from Europe. They have skied in the Olympics. They have skied on World Cups. So for the fact that we can compete in this arena is truly remarkable, and it's amazing that Colby-Sawyer skiing has gotten to this point in time. So in closure, I'd like to circle back again, how we got here today. I assume it's very common among this room that the people that are in this Hall of Fame have had a strong support system so that they can focus on their talent. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Mom and Dad. You've dedicated everything to the success of your children. We're very lucky to have the experience to come to Colby-Sawyer and have nothing to worry about except skiing and staying eligible enough to ski race. To Colby-Sawyer Athletics for continuing to support the crazy sport of ski racing. It's our job as alumni and past student athletes that we continue to show support to our programs. This program changed my life and my family's life. It showed me that no matter what, a kid from Reading, PA can come here and compete. And that's what we need to continue to do, no matter where you're from. And to the current ski racers in the room today, be proud, ski fast, and in the words of Tom Brady, let's go. And to my wife and my son Tucker, as we end mine and Sean's journey of ski racing here today, we start a new one for him. And I'm very excited about that. So thank you for the opportunity that you have given to the Dunstons to be here today to present. And thank you, Sean, and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
That's a little hard to go behind now. I just want to thank all the inductees. Awesome to be here today to celebrate. Thank you for everyone who put this on today. Really appreciate you. For a brief reflection for me, I would say the hardest part was when we transitioned from USCSA to NCAA, and having the best staff between the teachers, the professors, the training staff, the coaches, having full support between all 3 of them, having a personal level and a professional level between the student athlete and the professor really helped gain us, my success as setting these records. So thank you for that. And I also want to thank my parents for coming here today, who have supported me throughout, Pennsylvania State team to Mount Mansfield Winter Academy to finally helping me graduate through Colby-Sawyer. I also wouldn't have been successful without you guys. Thank you to my brother Ryan for putting that on. It was a little tearjerker, I must say. It was always fun chasing you down the hill from being 3 years on until now. I think I always looked up to you, whatever you did. I think you were also one of the reasons why I came to this school, so thank you again for that. Also, brief sincere thank you to Colby-Sawyer Athletics. You guys definitely funded me in extracurricular races besides our collegiate races, those being US Nationals and USCSA Nationals as well. I'm also honored to acknowledge the Colby-Sawyer Hall of Fame inductees. Thank you for being here with me today. And also, especially my teammate Daniel Shannon. We did a lot of traveling together. We qualified for extra races, like we said, US Nationals and USCSA Nationals. So traveling with her today and being inducted today with her is a true honor. So thank you guys so much.
Now, Julia Yee to present Ali LaBruno.
Good morning. My name is Julia Yee, and I'm so excited to be here to help induct and introduce my friend, bridesmaid, roommate, and most of all, teammate Allison LaBruno into the Colby-Sawyer Athletic Hall of Fame. When Allie first asked me to introduce her, a million memories of our time together at Colby-Sawyer started to fill my head. You see, Allie and I have been friends since our first day of preseason in August of 2010. We were roomed together, so naturally we spent every single minute of our day together for the first 2 weeks of Colby-Sawyer. Allie was not only my teammate during our years at CSC, but also my roommate, friend, pepper partner, busmate, and someone who I could always count on to complain, laugh, and run all over campus with. Allie and I both came to Colby-Sawyer wanting to play libero for the team. There was really no contest. From the first day of triple sessions, it was very clear to me that Allie was in a league of her own. Allie's defensive skills were unlike any I'd ever seen. She just knew where the ball was going, and she was going to be there to make the perfect pass. During Allie's freshman year, she had a standout season. She recorded 768 digs, which broke and still stands as the most digs ever in a season at Colby-Sawyer. Allie earned TCC Libero of the Week 5 times. Her 6.24 digs per set ranked her 12th in the nation and first for any freshman. Her breakout season earned her TCC Libero of the Year, All-TCC First Team, and she was named to the New England Women's Volleyball Association's All-New England Rookie Team. Over the next 3 years at Colby-Sawyer, Allie would help lead us to 3 NCAA appearances. Allie's intensity on the court and ability to step up when needed was really noticed when we played teams who were just much better than us. Allie also had a huge advantage over many other players, her superfans. Her parents, Hong and Bill, never missed a game. They traveled all over New England, all the way to California, and even to the middle of nowhere, almost Canada, to see Allie play. I believe they are a huge reason for her success. They pushed her and expected the best from her, and I think she definitely made them proud. Besides Allie's talent on the court, I could not have asked for a better teammate. She often would be the loudest one cheering us all on. She told us where the holes were. She would always cover us when we hit directly into the block. Our team became like a family, and each season we grew closer and closer. The bonds that you make playing collegiate sports are unlike any other. These girls were our sisters, and many of them are here today to see Allie be inducted. In Allie's sophomore year, she tallied another impressive 700+ digs and averaged over 6 digs a set. These numbers ranked her 15th in the nation. Allie was again named NAC Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and NAC All-Conference First Team. She was also recognized by the AVCA and the New England Women's Volleyball Association. Allie's 3rd season solidified her spot in the Hall of Fame. Early in the season, Allie surpassed the all-time digs record of 1,776 digs, and then later in the season, she was the first Charger to ever surpass 2,000 digs. She was again named NAC Defensive Player of the Year and First Team All-NAC and on the All-NAC Conference team. Allie ended her career as a Charger as one of the most decorated and honored players in Colby-Sawyer history. She was again named Defensive Player of the Year, which tallied her 4th straight award. She ended her career with a high 2,577 digs, which will take, in my opinion, quite the player to ever break. Her 2,577 digs also set a record for the New England Women's Volleyball Association, which has yet to be broken, and yes, I did check that. I could go on and on about Allie's stats and how deserving of this award she is. I was lucky enough to have her on my left and right, always chasing me down, being the first one to let me know I'd get the next one when I shanked a pass. Her love of volleyball, even those 6 a.m. spring seasons practices where we would just get served at for an hour, are moments I'll never forget. I'm so grateful that I got to play next to the best defensive volleyball player to ever step foot on the court at Colby-Sawyer. So it gives me great honor to induct my teammate, Allison LeBruno, into the Colby-Sawyer Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Julia, for that introduction. It means the world to me that after all these years, from the first day of preseason freshman year being roommates to your wedding day last month, that we can still count on each other. I would like to start by saying how incredibly honored I am to have been selected, and I could not have done it without my amazing teammates and coaches who encouraged and supported me all 4 years here. As I think back, I remember how difficult it was to find a school that would allow me to grow and prosper as both a student and athlete, and after speaking with Scott Fitzgerald, I knew Colby-Sawyer was the right fit for me. Scott, you're a role model and you acted like our team dad. We never wanted to disappoint you, especially on the court. We would dread the look you would give us from the bench. Not only did he help us on the court, but never missed a moment to teach us a very important and relatable life lesson. Scott, you have been instrumental in going above and beyond to teach us more than volleyball, and your dedication to making us all better student athletes has been a memorable and integral part of my career. Lastly, I would like to thank my family and friends who traveled near and far to be here today, and especially my parents who never missed a game. They were at every home game and every away game, even like Julia said, coming to California, they were there to support us and cheering us on. I always knew that even if there were no fans in the stands, we would always have them looking out cheering us on. My mom most likely with a 3-foot tripod and an old school video camera to catch every game moment on film, even though I don't think I've ever actually seen any of those videos. But truly, it was nice to know there would always be a familiar face to look out to, so it's really appreciated. So thank you, everyone. I could not have done it without you, and appreciate your support in making this incredible achievement recognized.
Garrett Lasher to present Danielle Shannon.
Thank you. I'd first like to start off by saying it's a real honor to be here. It's an honor to share the stage with all 5 of you, especially my boy Shawnee. I think it's great that Colby-Sawyer has a Hall of Fame. Not every place does. I think it's wise to recognize those who have made such an impactful impression through their careers here. And certainly it sounds like the 5 of you have done just that. And it's really special for me to be here with not only Danielle, but with Sean as well. Ryan is not incorrect. He could be up here too. He could be up here too. And Shawnee's quite lucky I didn't induct him because I got some stories. Oh man. Oh man. But we're here to talk about Danielle. Danielle Shannon, flat out. You heard Sean's results and accomplishments. Sorry, Sean, I think Danielle might be the most accomplished ski racer to ever come through Colby-Sawyer. Female, he says. But I had the joy of coaching actually both of them for all 4 years, and they're right. They are extremely talented. In Danielle's case, the talent was always there. She became a dominant force, but it wasn't like that right from the beginning. You know, her freshman year, there were some stumbles here and there. you know, she was extremely fit, extremely technically sound, but she couldn't quite finish much. Oh, it was terrible, Danielle. You know, it wasn't until nationals till she comes down kind of ho-hum in 9th place in the slalom and 2nd place in the GS, is that right? And everybody was like, who's this, who's this? And I'm like, I was waiting for it all year, where the hell's it been? So from there, Danielle really took off. Her sophomore year was straight domination. I think Danielle won 90% of her races, something like that. I believe that was the year she won the GS national title. I think that was the first in Colby-Sawyer history. And for you current racers, literally check out Danielle's finish rate. She would, I mean, how many DNFs do you have in your career? 2? 1? Yeah. She was the she was the model of consistency and performance. Her junior year, Plymouth brought in a ringer to go back and forth with her, a Swedish stud that Danielle shared the limelight with. But certainly by her senior year, you know, Danielle she asserted herself as not only one of the best collegiate skiers in the USCSA, but really for any ski program. Danielle is the type of young woman that you could put her in any environment and she will thrive. You know, for a little context, she ended her GS career with like 32 GS points in slalom, near 40. She literally could have skied for just about any program out there. In addition to all of that, there are a few things that we need to mention because, like I said, she is probably the most accomplished, and that includes 12-time All-American status. And for ski racing, there's 3 events, GS slalom combined. Danielle won 12, which means all 3, all 4 years, which is unbelievable at the national level. She was also a 4-time academic All-American, unbelievable biology student, always pushing herself in the classroom to do whatever she could so that it didn't disrupt her skiing, but also pull off those A's. Again, she was the 2009 national title in GS. She was the 2011 combined national winner. Again, another Colby-Sawyer first. She garnered a quota spot to US Nationals 3 out of her 4 years. That was the time Sean, Danielle, Colby-Sawyer, we were taking them all. It was awesome. And she was also a 3-time Colby-Sawyer Athlete of the Year, Female Athlete of the Year. So, and in addition to this, you know, Danielle is also one of the most kind, respectful, gentle, sweet, but also nasty person. She is one nasty athlete. I remember the strength and conditioning coaches in the weight room calling her a beast, watching her do power cleans. We used to have a lot of pull-up contests between you and me. You would probably beat me these days. I have not been keeping up. But anyway, I had such a joy coaching Danielle, and she has been, as a young woman growing, there's not much more to say. But again, her time at CSC will be unparalleled, and it is my honor to induct Danielle Shannon into the CSC Hall of Fame.
Okay, I think I'll need it. Yeah. Can you hold me up? All right, thank you, everybody. Words can't explain how honored I am to be inducted into the Colby-Sawyer Athletic Hall of Fame with all of my fellow inductees. Thank you, Garrett, for such a nice summary of my time spent skiing here at Colby-Sawyer College. And I would also like to thank Colby-Sawyer College, I'm shaky, sorry, for
providing me with the opportunity to not just earn a biology degree, but to further my ski racing career as well. And of course, I cannot thank Garrett enough for all of his fine coaching and guidance for not just me, but all of my teammates as well, Sean included. And then it's a thrill to me that I was able to have the same coach all 4 years throughout college, where I know there were other colleges that they had a changeover in their ski racing coaches, which just, it makes for a hard, it makes it harder to further your skiing. And then, as you all may know, ski racing is typically an individual sport, so to ski racing college adds another aspect to it, which certainly makes it a lot more stressful, as you're not just skiing for yourself, you have to finish every run, because to not finish a run, you're sacrificing for your team, the results, your overall results. So, as Garrett said, my freshman year, I'm not sure how many slalom races I was able to finish, but so, not like now, oh gosh. This matters in a team sport, as our combined score is based off of adding up the times for a certain number of racers. So I think if you didn't have enough racers finish, they had to add on a ghost time, which is like the slowest time plus a lot of time. So it's not helpful in any way. But what I do recall was that my freshman year, Garrett did have me run last in the slalom at nationals. I'll never forget that. But you know, in a way, it was something that pushed me. Like, it made me want it so much more. Like, I had to better myself for that one reason. Like, I didn't want to run last at nationals. So it pushed me. So it worked. But so I'm pretty sure that I did end up finishing that run clean at nationals, and from there on out, there weren't many races that I didn't finish. Even if I did fall, I would still hike and finish the race. Like, I had to finish. So I felt that it was my duty to do so for my team and ultimately for the college. So finally, I would like to thank my dad for pushing me from the beginning to be the best athlete that I can be. And he has, and I'm sure always will be, my #1 fan. So I don't believe that I ever would have achieved all of my accomplishments without all of his support. And so again, thank you all for being here. Very proud to be inducted into the Colby-Sawyer Athletic Hall of Fame.
And our last presenter, Barry Schoonmaker, to present Jen LaChance Taylor.
All right, we're going to bring this baby home with some tennis. I can tell all of you about Jen's accolades and accomplishments, but I'm not going to do that. If you want to read all that, go to Hogan and go to the Hall of Fame wall. It's awesome. I coached Jen for 1 year, and I'm going to tell you guys a couple stories that happened during that year, and this is the truth. So to get to this story, we got to rewind. About 10.5 years ago, I come to Colby-Sawyer to interview for a job as a tennis coach. The first person I meet is Jen. And I have to tell you all, after speaking with her, I was really impressed. She loved tennis, cared about her teammates, she was a gym rat, and she had a really high GPA. But the one thing that stood out over everything else was Jen wanted to win. And that's what I like. And we all know winning isn't everything, but losing sucks. So, like I said, after meeting with Jen, I was very impressed, and I rated her right about here. I've coached a lot of people before I got here, Jen, so that's actually really good. Okay. A few weeks later, I'm fortunate enough to be offered the job, come out for preseason. The first person I hit with is Jen. We're doing a doubles drill where your goal is to get to the net and volley. So Jen hits a short ball, I come in, she rips this backhand. I move, pop up the volley. It sets up a little bit. Jen comes flying in and wails a forehand right at my face. Now, there aren't that many people who are going to try to hit the coach on the second time you met him. Okay? But you know what? Oh, I liked it. I liked it. Why did Jen try to hit me? Because she wanted to win. Fast forward another month. We're in our regular season showdown against our hated rival, Endicott. It's tied at 4-4 in the match. We're in the deciding game. And who do we have on the court? We've got our captain. We've got our most clutch player. We've got the woman who's going to set the record for singles wins at Colby-Sawyer. We had Jen, and she lost. It was a 3-hour, 3-set match. But here's the thing. After she comes off the court, she comes right up to me and she says, "Coach, I want to talk to the team." We get the team together, and then Jen speaks about how we're going to work harder in drills, we're going to be tougher in the gym, and most importantly, we're going to have more team unity, support, and enthusiasm than any other team we played the rest of the year. And that's exactly what a great captain does. So why did Jen address her teammates like that? Because she wanted to win. We fast forward another month. Now we're in the final of the CCC championship, once again against Endicott. And they come up here and they take 2 of the 3 doubles matches to take a commanding lead. So we're in our little huddle in between doubles and singles. It's similar to halftime. It's when you have a chance to talk to your players, or sometimes the players speak up. This time Jen doesn't say a word. She's just sitting there with this stone-cold death stare on her face. So we send everyone out to play singles. I turn to our assistant and I say, "Did you see the look on Jen's face? Like she's going to kill somebody out there." So sure enough, Jen has a rematch with the girl who just beat her a few weeks ago in that 3-hour, 3-set match. And Jen destroys her 6-2, 6-0 in about 40 minutes. And when you're playing a tennis match, when you sit down on the changeover, you can often look to see how your teammates are going. And when you see someone absolutely annihilating an opponent, that sort of trickles down into everybody else. And that definitely raised the level of all of Jen's teammates, and we went on to dominate Endicott, take the title for the first time since '96 in our first trip to the NCAAs. So once again, I'm saying, why did Jen have that tunnel vision during the meeting? Because she wanted to win. But, and Jen, I'll keep moving you up. But the story doesn't end there. Jen has a great spring season. She graduates, passes the NCLEX, takes a job at Dartmouth. And then, luckily for me, one day while we're hitting, she asks if she can, help the team by being an assistant coach. Well, I had to sit down and think about that. And I'd say about 5 seconds later, I said, "Yes, please." When can you start? And Jen was an amazing assistant coach. In fact, while she was working at Dartmouth and helping with the team, she had been admitted to Duke, and she was flying down to Durham to do her master's in nursing. And there was a time I can remember she flew back from Duke, got off of the airplane, into her car, drove all the way out to meet us at this little club in Newport to have a 9 p.m. at night practice. And I know she must have been absolutely exhausted physically and mentally. But she was still there. And that, my friends, that is dedication. And when your players see a coach with that sort of commitment, it really, really inspires them. So, once again, why did Jen give so much to our team? Because she wanted to win. And let me tell you one final thing about Jen. Jen absolutely loves to hit people with a tennis ball. Yeah, look, she looks all cute and dainty sitting up here. Don't let that fool you. Don't let that fool you. Jen would hit everybody. She hit the coaching staff. She hit her teammates. She'd play with the guys. She hit the guys' team. One day, our trainer jumped in to do a couple fun drills with us. She hit him. If you don't believe me, call up Scott Roy. The drill was called Rip Your Face Off, and that's what Jen tried to do to him. Later on, when Jen was coaching, she tried to hit her players. Or actually, it was a freshman rite of passage, I would say, to be absolutely tattooed by Jen. Jen told me once if she could see Wilson, on the arm or on the leg where she hit him, she knew she made solid contact. So, true story. We're in this big match with Roger Williams. And the woman Jen is playing is cheating her. Jen is livid, all right? The smoke's starting to come out of her ears. Sure enough, later on in the match, the ball floats up. Jen moves in and winds up. Who's right across the net? It's that girl who made the bad calls. Now I know what's coming, so I have to turn away. All right, Jen hauls off and pounds this girl with the ball. Everyone who's watching does this. It's that sort of hit. So I come walking out on the changeover to talk to Jen, and she's sitting there with this huge grin on her face. I get a little closer, and she looks up at me with those doe eyes, and she goes, "Coach, I hit that girl right in the baby maker." What do you think of that? I'm sort of speechless on that. But so once again, I want to ask you all one last time: why did Jen take the ball right at that girl? Because she wanted to win. So, Jen, these last words are they're truly from my heart. Never stop bringing that positive energy every time you enter the room. Never lose that love of caring for others that you have in your profession. Never forget about Colby-Sawyer, and never, never stop hitting tennis balls. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the 2019 Colby-Sawyer Hall of Fame, Jen Taylor.
Wow, how do I follow that? It's funny the way Coach is describing me because I'm a nurse and I actually work in hospice, so having him visualizing killing all these people is very interesting. But, right, it's terrible. But thank you to everyone who put on this event today. I just want to take a moment to thank my parents because they have been truly supportive of me on and off the tennis court throughout all of my endeavors. And I just want to share with you my reflections about my connection with Colby-Sawyer and Colby-Sawyer athletics. So since graduation, Colby-Sawyer has continually been involved in my life and has been on my path to reaching my goals. As Barry mentioned, immediately after graduation, I became an assistant coach in the women's tennis team. This role showed me how to model leadership on and off the court at all times. I took these skills and used them to advance my career. As Barry said, I returned to graduate school to obtain my nurse practitioner license, and after obtaining this, I returned to Colby-Sawyer and decided to teach for a year in the nursing program. Again, another experience to help guide my way. With these teaching skills I learned, I was able to apply these in order to be in a nurse educator role at a local visiting nurse association. I then took another step forward in my career. I'm now director of hospice and palliative care. In this role, I am actually lucky enough to be working with senior Colby-Sawyer nursing students on their capstone project. And also, before, during these career moments, Colby-Sawyer was involved in one major life event. I met my husband, Ben, at Colby-Sawyer through our mutual love of tennis, and we were later married here, a few steps away from where we met on the tennis courts. So, needless to say, Colby-Sawyer College has been a huge part of my life's journey thus far. I would not have developed into the person or nurse I am today without continuing being involved in this amazing community. Colby-Sawyer will always be a part of my past, my present, and definitely my future. So thank you, and have a good afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Colby-Sawyer Athletics Hall of Fame class of 2019. Thank you all. We're very, very proud of you and very grateful that you'll continue to represent Colby-Sawyer. And as a reminder, you'll all be permanently memorialized on our Hall of Fame wall in the lobby of the Hoagland Sports Center. Now, with closing remarks, please join me in welcoming Sue Stubner, President of Colby-Sawyer.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's always hard to follow the speakers at this event because they do such a beautiful job of epitomizing what is best about not just Colby-Sawyer, but athletics here at the college. I just want to give a few thanks to those in attendance. First to our presenters for capturing our inductees so beautifully and with such wit and with such heart. Really appreciate your great words today. I would like to thank our student athletes in the audience today. We look forward to honoring some of you in the future, but we appreciate you wearing the Colby-Sawyer uniform week in and week out, and for all that you do in striving for excellence on a daily basis. Some of the themes that come through in this event every year are teamwork, relationships, excellence. I'd just like to end by thanking our inductees this year for the role models that you are for everyone here in this room, for the examples that you set when you were here on the slopes, on the courts, here at Colby-Sawyer, but also what you continue to do today in your professions and in your communities to really exemplify the best of Colby-Sawyer. So thank you so much, and congratulations on your honors today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sue, and thank you all for coming. Our Hall of Famers, we're going to have some photo opportunities here and then over at the Hogan Sports Center once we're through here. Again, thank you all for coming.